Between the time when the oceans drank Atlantis and the rise of the sons of Arius, there was an age undreamed of. And onto this
Muffinmouth,
destined to bear the jeweled crown of Aquilonia upon a troubled brow. It is I, his chronicler, who alone can tell thee of his saga. Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another guide by me, Muffinmouth. Today, we're gonna be tackling the Onslaught dungeon. Though, I have a little bit too good gear, so we'll have to scale it down. I'm only using epic quality items, charms, and heroes. I'll also only use the first gauntlet, the Night Gauntlet, and no potions. That way, it's kinda like I'm a fresh level 45, except I think they have better gear and a better gauntlet. I, however, have better start heroes, so it evens it out. I really hope you learned something from it, and let's get into it. For weapons, I have a demon, militia, and outlaw. Though it's not needed, I would sincerely recommend that you also get a cult. It makes life easier on stage 3 and 9. As for weapon charms, I just put in whatever I had laying around. My armor, I have 7 defense and 3 hero charms, all of them warrior. I'll be using the Night Gauntlet fully upgraded, but I think the champion is the overall strongest for the Onslaught dungeon. Since you're dealing with a lot of enemies, the rage gain on damage taken is quite powerful. The floors will have a battle modifier given to a random alignment each day. This will provide a 50% damage bonus. Heroes who receive the bonus is shown with this arrow. Even after scaling down, the first 6 floors are nothing for a level 45. I'll give you some quick pointers to help with those, but I can't show you much gameplay wise. Floor 1 is the easiest, and if you can't beat it, it is likely because you need higher levels and better gear. You need to clear the minions before you can hit the boss, so I would recommend you use an undead weapon. Floor 2 has an easy way to overcome it by using either Rosalind or Grim. Just punch and rage power as often as you can. Since most of the enemies are goblins, you will heal a lot. Though be aware that the 6th boss is also goblin, so if you're planning to go far, it might be better to save one of them. Like the first floor, the 3rd boss is hiding behind its minions. You'll see how I deal with back row bosses later. Here, you should be using a cult weapon and Fahari. Her rage power does damage and heals you. It is also strong versus acid, so consider combining her with Wormwood, since his rage power applies acid. For the 4th floor, I have always used a militia weapon and tried to take down the boss as fast as possible. An incredible hero here is Rhiannon. Her normal power destroys the back row healers, who are quite annoying. Another helpful hero here is Zoe, as she can freeze the back row while you just focus on killing the boss. Floor 5 is all demons, so Salem really shines here. With his normal power, you'll be able to heal up quite a lot. The boss is also on the back row. An important thing when fighting bosses that are at the back row: if you don't kill the front row in one turn, you often risk it being summoned again. Floor 6 is mostly goblins and all front row, so it's the same as floor 2. Using either Grim or Rosalind's rage power heals you a lot. Heroes that hit front row will also be great here. Now we start getting into the more difficult stages. Floor 7 has 2 types of golem minions, dogs and tanks as I call them. The boss himself is outlaw, even though he looks quite undead. I used Lars and Anara here, both were level 35. I made sure that all the front golems had low health when I had full rage power. Anara was used for the protection buff to make sure I took less damage when getting hit by the full brunt force of 4 minions and a boss. Once they were gone, it was quite easy, and I just used my outlaw weapon to finish him. For the 8th floor, I used my militia weapon, Gwen and Tristan, level 35, and I just went all out on the boss. The back row enemies apply weaken with their power, so Tristan came in handy with his normal power Dispel. Gwen's normal power has great single target damage against militia, so use it on cooldown. Fluor 9 is the one I had most difficulty with. You must be extremely careful with the Storm Spirit minions she spawns, as they can stun lock you to infinity. They are pretty much kill on sight, though they are also easy to kill. I used Titania and Ursula, who are both level 45. Same as Floor 7, you gotta get the front row down to low health and then finish them all off in one turn. The dog's ability can apply expose, so consider having a resistance to expose charm if you have the slot for it. If I had access to a cult weapon, I would have been using it. Once you get through the front row, you just want to take the boss down as quickly as possible. There is an oddity in the boss's algorithm. If you stun a minion, the next turn the boss has, it will hit your knight instead of summoning new ones. I think you can use this to make some of the floors super easy, though it might be a bug and I didn't want to rely on it for this run. For the last floor, I used Ninjuru and Dvalin, both are level 45. It's also a hard floor, and dealing with 2 archers and tanks that can armor themselves up can be rough. One tactic you can go for if you have Dvalin is to punch and rage until the boss dies. I, however, went for a more standard tactic of getting the front row down until I can finish them both in one turn. I always use an outlaw weapon as the boss is the least of my worries. If you don't have Dvalin, I suggest using any strong front hitter hero you have and a healer. The same principles apply. You must take down the 2 tanks and then smack the boss until he drops. Consider using Don Diego here as well. He is strong versus outlaw and his normal power deals good single target damage. It can also dispel the haste buff the tanks cast on themselves. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I really hope you learned something from it. Let me know in the comment section below how far you can get at the Onslaught dungeon. And if this video didn't help you at all, feel free to come on Discord and ask me advice personally on how you can get further in the dungeon, and we can look at it together. If you want, please like and subscribe, and with that I'm gonna say goodbye.